I'm gonna have to find an alternative to Restream. This thing just is not doing it. It just has no resilience to anything. Alright, well, the YouTube one's back up. That's so obnoxious, though. Dense, layer norm, and swish. Hey, Finn, the YouTube stream just got cut off, man. I don't know what happened. The Twitch one didn't go down. We're just all sorts of weird stability things with Restream today. Did you try this without layer norm? Obviously, you need the residual. Parameters, let me see. Hang on, is that gonna let me? Without layer norm does worse. Do you have the obs normalized? I really try to avoid layer norm when I can. Swish a little worse than a relo. Can you post the, are you in the Discord, Kevin? Can you drop the link there? My chat is like totally messed up. Restream, like, the whole UI is basically not working on my dashboard today. I can't even click links. I'd like to look through the results. K-dubs. Okay, so we have depth and width. Interesting in dips. I guess it's the ranges. Okay. Oh, and I see the params. Okay, so model params. So to the 6th, 10 million. Wait, that's not 40 mil, right? That's like 5 mil, isn't it? Like the top results here, this is like 5 mil. Or, well, I can't read this axis. I don't know what this is. Wait, 1, 2, is it less than 5 mil? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 mil. Why is layer norm bad? Because it's slow. Depth 64 is 40 mil. Yeah, this one over here is, right? Reward base rather than goal. Main thing is how to figure out. Yeah, so that would be the main thing, and that's why I didn't really look at the paper very much, because we need that in order for it to be useful. Like, you can't have, like, pure goal condition just doesn't even make sense, right? If you think about it, because pure goal condition. So Kevin, like, pure goal conditioning is, that's basically like having a 1 reward at the end of your task, right? Like a fully sparse reward. We do goal conditioned RL, like we do task conditioned RL rather, I should say, but we do it via the reward function and via the difference in observations and actions, right? So like, for instance, the drones can have different formations that they have to fly into, all right? But that's like, they're observing different target states, right? And they're getting rewarded for different things. And we can make, I guarantee you, we can make fully sparse reward work for things that where you would not think that they work. Did you see the maze result in my my post? Here, let me show you something, and I think you'll appreciate this since you actually have the background to know what you're looking at here. Where's this thing? Oops. See, most people will not have the background to appreciate this, which is why I don't show this super often, except to other researchers. But didn't hear? Yeah. Look at this maze. Look at this maze solving agent. The reward for that is it's a full sparse reward. Yes, that is trained on fully sparse reward. It is insane. Pufferlib is actually that good. So you can see, Kevin, like, we kind of do some good research around here, right? It's in the Puffing Up PPO article. Trajectory segment filtering gives you implicit curriculum learning, which for stuff like this is really good. That plus being able to train this, we're able to train like a 2 million parameter network on this thing at 2 million steps per second almost. Send in the link. This is just in my articles tab, Major. Yeah, I can put this in the Discord. It's literally just my, like, if you just read the articles that I have, right? Like, you'll see we do our own research, all right? Like, I don't really publish a ton of stuff anymore because I'm no longer in academia, but I am very much still, like, the goal is to advance the field here. Right? We do our own stuff. Isn't maze what goal condition RL is really good at? Wouldn't work on this one. What are your thoughts on action sequence modeling? Just supervised learning? You need to have the action sequences to train on. Oh, Finn, the max rings plus 1 was for the observations. They include the current and the next rings. Yeah, I got you, Finn. I changed it. I'm thinking of changing it back, but that's not the thing breaking it. Maze results is very impressive. Never seen that performance before. Yeah. This is reward based. It's literally, it just gets 1 for getting the goal. It doesn't like it's not like a goal state thing. It's just 1 for the reward. So you kind of see, like, you have to be doing RL to understand how good that result is. But this is kind of why I say that we've made the first major algo breakthrough in RL since PPO. Because, like, that just works and that trains in minutes. The hyperparams are very specific for it. Like, you actually have to do a quite aggressive hyperparameter sweep in order to get the ones that solve it that fast. But it does replicate. It does that every time. How much data does it require? Probably 15 minutes times 1 to 2 million steps per second would be my guess. We go by wall clock. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of data. What would that even be? Let's say, milliminute. It's somewhere between 1 and 3 billion steps, probably. It's not just the 1000x speed. That helps, but it's not just the 1000x speed. And you can see right here, look. See this curve? It's trained in less than 12 minutes. The best models. So yeah. Are you interested in, like, if you can figure out how to make that thing not have to be goal conditioned, right? If it can take in reward, like I'm fine having an auxiliary supervised loss if it's like next state prediction or in like or ideally like latent space prediction or something. Um, but we would like to have something that lets us scale up models like that. My 1,000 layer net takes like a few days. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you're interested in trying to like get some of your stuff working in Puffer, right? We'd be very, very happy to have work on scaling up networks around in here. Would actually unlock quite a few applications. So the main thing I would be wanting to do next on the research side anyways. So here's the crazier result, Kevin. This one is, here's the real scale up result that we have. If you just, if you watch this guy play for a few minutes, you'll kind of get the idea. Okay. That's tool use right there. It just figured out how to equip and use tools. All right, it just equipped it a full armor set. It knows how to kite. If you watch this thing, you'll see it's like not a half bad MMO agent, and we trained this thing ourselves on one server. This thing was trained on more than a petabyte of observations. It's the other article on my X. 640 billion steps. Took like 3 days on a tiny box. I'm pretty sure the only things that are larger than this are like Dota and AlphaStar and like Go. Pretty much just the big lab results are bigger than this. And they all use like, 1,000 plus GPUs. Here's the cool thing. This thing actually, the high level opponents have ranged attacks, and it knows that they have ranged attacks, and it knows how to kite melee and ranged. Look, it's literally kiting with a bow. It's literally kiting with a bow. I can't even do that consistently without like screwing up and getting hit. It's like frame perfect kiting. It took one hit. Hey Simon, have you thought of doing some kind of RL for robotics? Some things like pit control theory. Yeah, so we started doing some stuff on ManiScale. I wouldn't do PyBullet or Majoko or ROS. They're all super, super slow. I did start working on some stuff with ManiScale. I want to continue it. It's time and like other stuff I have to be doing at the moment. High fidelity control is considerably more work than low fidelity control. For like the time being, when I get a chance to finish the ManiScale integration, you can basically expect like a hyperparameter tuned version of that runs on Pufferlib. But in order to make it like way better, I'd have to get very, very deep into physics sim for robotics. And like it's an amount of work that we would only do that amount of work if somebody wanted to sign a big contract with us to do it. Because otherwise it's like I can't just be like detouring and spending months on that, right? That's nice. Thanks for the streams. Yeah, you got it. So yeah, Kevin, there you go. There are some results. uh, it's fun to show these to actual researchers who like understand how hard some of this stuff is. Some time to talk about ants and some updates we can discuss. Yes, I can do that soon. I was chatting with Kevin here, and I do want to figure out what's wrong with my my drone agents first. Let me see if I can figure that out rather quickly. Did I have a hypothesis for this or no? Oh yeah. I knew what I was gonna do. I was gonna do the target position, right? Does pufferlib vectorized environments via async require agents to send actions on step? Gives an action to some buffer. That's not what async means in this context. We could very easily set that type of thing up, but you would never want to do that for training. So we don't do that type of stuff by default. We could set it up for a specific application quite easily though. Okay, so presumably here, I'm assuming that this is not actually correct, right? I guess we'll have to copy it over to see. Yeah, because the perf is... Yeah, no, all this did was update the score to be the same thing as before. This is not doing it. Are you using Vim or yeah, NeoVim? Does it even make sense that you would have to do this? It doesn't, right? I guess it makes sense that they need to see collisions and such. I mean, I guess technically, let's just copy this real quick. I'd way rather just be able to do this all locally, but I'm on my laptop, so Forgot to rebuild. Yeah, it's kind of just chilling. It learns to not OOB, right? But it doesn't learn much else. What's the vibe? Is this a bunch of researchers on their own projects? Everyone's working. So I mean, Pufferlib is just a big effort to fix reinforcement learning in general. So there's core research that's shared across everything. Same with core infrastructure. And then a lot of the new contributors, we suggest that they get involved by writing their own environments. It's really a good way to get into reinforcement learning. And then those environments become they become tasks that are used in research. So like the majority of these are written by contributors. And then when people get more experienced or people who are more experienced can also contribute to core infrastructure and core research as well. It really just depends on your experience, right? We've kind of made it so that we've gotten it to a point where even very new people can actually contribute productively because like there are a lot of very simple environments that end up being quite useful for research. And then that helps you onboard yourself, right? So that you can actually learn the more complicated stuff. Why the heck does the drone do that? Is the question, I suppose. Have I just been lazy and missed something? What's the ring reward? I wanted to fix this quickly and catch up with MTAM. This thing's driving me nuts though. Sick, thanks. I've been trying to get RL for designing compliant mechanisms. Compliant mechanism, need tons of M steps. I stumble on Pufferlib. Thanks for the content and the resources. That sounds cool. So if you have experience in another area, I don't know if this is a personal project or a company project. For companies, we have contracts where we can help. For personal projects where you're like generally interested in building something applicable to industries, though, that is a good way to get involved with working with us. Like we love it when people with experience in other areas are like trying to figure out how to turn a problem that is in industry into one that can be that RL can be applied to. We've helped with that in a number of different areas. Only I could figure out why the drone does not work. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the ring reward, right? Ring check ring. Wait, reward or terminate based on distance to the ring center. I mean, this reward doesn't look good to me, but the thing is, should I just try it real quick? I'm gonna try this. Is this better? The score is higher. I need to add like a ring solved thing. That's meaningfully different at the very least, right? Hmm. Teh. That was literally it. Look at that, you see? I wonder why that didn't mess it up before. I mean, I guess it's just the permutation. Yeah, that's like huge difference. It's kind of funny that I found that. See, this is like the type of thing that you're just not going to find or understand until you've done more RL, generally. Of course, this is going to cause, like, there are going to be some slight problems with this. Like, you can see it's dipping and going back through the same ring, which is a kind of a funny approach that we don't want it to do, but, like, this fixes it. So it's basically just a reward slash curriculum bug, and that looks super smooth. I mean, literally, like, look how smooth this thing is, right? Look at this. Solid. Okay. So now that we know that that works, what else do we get to do? Let's do this init. So we're going to now randomize the drone. We're going to do 5 rings. If this works, then this will mean that we can fly the course with like any randomized drone that we want. And then well, I mean, this sets us up in a pretty good spot. M10, you still around? I don't know. It's your username's M10, Matan. Are you still around? I can take a look at the ant stuff now. I wanted to at least get something training though for this. Oh yeah, look, it's the same. Perfect. I will hop in the Discord on this, provided you're comfortable doing it on stream. And for new folks around here, this is literally how it works when you get in into a new project and start deving. It's just like, come join. I will come look at your code and such. Hey. Yes, but let me route that through the correct device real quick. That is going through my speakers. Headset. This needs to be plugged in for it to work, doesn't it? All right. Say something. Yes, let me just fix it for the stream as well. And we will be good. Properties. Huh. I don't know why I'll fix the desktop audio, get the thing working, and I'll figure out how to fix stream is down on YouTube, I think. It says it's up. Did it crash? It's been crashy all day. It says the YouTube stream is up. No, it still has me as live. Did it crash? Still has me as live. I just started with ML, getting confused. Courses every time I get to some new topic, feels like I don't know it. I'm stuck on One Piece. Can't build without tutorials. Follow my guide that is on X. So I mean, I put like all my best advice and stuff for new programmers, new to ML, new to RL. It's all in the guide. Let me figure out why this audio is being weird. Okay, now it works, I think. Wait,
Cool.
yeah, now it works. Cool. I have like one
Can you see
second
the ants?
combo. Hang on, let me get the stream open. Oops. And now we have ants.
Cool. So yeah, you can see here the ants are moving around randomly at the moment. This is like my /ants command. This isn't the eval.
Yeah, the same.
But I've added a feature where when I hit shift, I can now observe the observations
Yeah, that's
for
generally a good idea
the
to do.
ant. Yeah. And so that's given me a lot more observability into how effectively my helper functions are working and how good the results are. So as far as position X and Y, that all seems to be accurate. It seems to be correctly ranged between 0 and 1, and that seems to be no problem. Direction is either one of 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, or 0, right? For the 4 directions that the ant can be moving in.
Well, it looks
Has
like they're
food
moving
is a
diagonal to
Boolean.
me.
That's right. So the way they're doing that is they're just moving down and then left and then down and then left and then down and left and
I
down and
see.
left. Yeah. But the 4 directions that they can be moving in a given frame is going to be up, down, left, or right.
Do they train?
Yeah. So this does run if I do a puffer train. The results are just not where I'd like them to be.
Does it
So
do
let me log
anything
in
like
here.
anything that's clearly learning or not really?
Not really. Yeah, I would say it's not really learning uh, the way it should be. Like,
How many ticks does it take
I
to
don't
get to
see
food?
any progression left to right. Uh, to reach food for the first time, you mean?
Like,
Not
I
many.
remember
I
we had
mean,
this conversation of like the granularity of movement.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll refresh a little. So like, if it takes a very, very long time, like if it
direction.
takes 100 actions to randomly find food, like in the best case, that's
Mhm.
tough.
Yeah. So I've also run this with the ants being able to move much faster. Um, with similar results. Uh, so I've had it where they're moving like 10 times faster than they are right now, and it's similarly uh, not learning when I look at the runs, right?
Have you had anyone
Really, I
take a
should
look at the
start
code for like
having.
basic sanity?
Yeah. So you
If
might
you link
remember
it
the
to me,
last
I'll
time
check
we
real
spoke,
quick.
Dan. Yeah, I'll send it to you. Dan also looked at all the like observations, actions, and rewards code,
He should
and he seemed
probably catch
to
stuff.
be
He'll
of
catch
the
the
opinion.
basic stuff. If there's something more subtle wrong, he's not gonna get it. And I may or may not get it from like a quick look, but you can link it to me in Discord and we'll try.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay. I want to see the pufferlib fork that I made.
Yep.
There we go. Cool. Okay. What I have in my local is slightly different from this, just in terms of the reward function, but everything else should be the same.
Link it.
Yep.
Oh, you're putting in voice. Okay.
Yeah.
What's this voice chat thing? All right, we'll take a
I
quick
can
look
send
at
it
this
direct.
live here. Strategically named to be alphabetically first, I see. I'm
Not done
joking.
intentionally,
No,
but
I'm joking, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I know it's funny though. Okay, let's see. So it's done in pixels, and this is 5 pixels of movement, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
If the ant speed is 5, then yes. Yeah. Exactly.
You can
Here, is
literally
there a
see
way for
that
me
the
to see what you're
observable.
reading?
You've checked have you checked the observations from Python? Observations, rewards, and all that?
Yeah, so I'm confident that all the numbers are the same, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
Like the the observation size is always going to be 8, the number of ants is always going to be 32.
But like the
And
data in there
that
looks
should
reasonable.
it does, yeah. So I've also gone and like
Okay.
you saw the observability thing that I
Yeah,
had
but have you
for
done that
ant
through
0,
like have
which
you
I
done
had
that when it's running in
control of.
PyTorch? Like that the
No,
observations
I'm
from
not.
PyTorch match what you're seeing visually.
I'm not sure. I mean, they absolutely should because I'm not rendering any like intermediate proxy. When I'm visualizing
I'm just
dot
checking
slash,
data corruption
it's
is all I'm doing. I'm just checking data corruption because something like this should train instantly.
right. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how you would visualize all of the logs in PyTorch. What I have done is used the dot slash utility that I made
Yeah, so that's
to
step
look
one.
at the observations of particular
Okay,
ants
let me tell
and
you how
to
you'll do it.
confirm that. Uh-huh.
This is how you do it. So you run eval, you put a breakpoint in like before or after
Mm,
the render, whatever, and
yep.
you look at what you see on the screen with that overlay running, right? And you can see like
Hmm.
the vectors and where they're pointing, and then you look at the observation data, like you print it out, and you see if those numbers match what you see on the screen, and make sure like they're unique for each ant and all that. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah,
Do
that
that
does
as a
make sense.
sanity because, like, if it's not learning, it's very likely there's some weird bug. It's also possible that the rewards are
Mhm.
just super screwy. We can see that, but let's see.
Yeah.
Spawning ants,
I mean, I've
input.
tried different versions of the reward function. So I've done a regular reward function where it just gets a small reward for picking up food and a bigger
Hmm.
reward for bringing the food back. I've done a angle-based reward function where they get those same rewards from before, but they also get small rewards for being pointed towards food if they are not carrying food and being pointed
Uh-huh.
towards the colony if they are carrying food.
And then food
Um,
respawns are like, what do the train curves look like? Do you have any?
yes. Food respawns. I've got 75 of them that we can
Okay, link
look
me the
through.
Neptune.
Yeah, let me. Is there a way to share that with your account or copy link to project? Is that
If it
enough?
depends if it's public, yeah. Is there any
Let's
reason for
see.
it not to be?
I don't think so.
I'll just link it. All
I'm
my
s-
experiments are public. It's not a big
yeah.
deal.
I'm sending it to you now.
Okay.
I don't think I made this private, but let me know if you have any trouble
Mm-hmm.
opening it.
Did you DM it to me?
Yes.
Okay, let me open this.
Yeah, and the most recent run 75, is exactly what's in GitHub. Like, there shouldn't be any discrepancy between those two.
Um, on thing. Oops, let's not do that. So this is taking me to my puffer project. This is not taking me to your thing. I
Oh,
suspect that means it's
I
private.
see when you click the link. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
so I click
probably.
this link and it redirects me, yeah, to my own project. So I assume that's probably because it's private. If your project,
Okay.
it should say public right here.
Where is right here? Are you sharing your screen?
It's on the stream, but if you like just projects tab on Neptune, like whatever your project is named, it should say public or private.
Yep. Yeah, and it says workspace. Anyone with access to this workspace can see this project. So I guess I need to give you
Yeah, then
access to the
it's
workspace.
you gotta invite me or make it public, one of the two.
Okay, one sec. Um, workspaces, workspace settings. Yep. What would be your username or email on Neptune?
It's probably jsuarez at puffer.ai.
Suarez. I see a J Suarez here.
That's fine.
All right. you should have the invite.
Let me see if I have to accept it or if the link will just work now.
It seems like you have to accept because you're grayed out.
Okay, we'll do a little quick experimental. Did I just close the window by mistake? What?
All right.
Oh, here it is. Okay, we'll do a little analysis. So, episode. Yeah, that's just noise, pretty much. If anything gets worse. Really small learning rate. Still though. Okay, yeah, we're just looking at straight noise here.
Yeah, for the episode return and everything. Yeah. Trying to think if I just want to fork this real quick. Here, get this set up for you, why not? We'll just do this live, it'll be quicker anyways. Oops. So, what was the branch? The branch is feature/puffer ants.
Feature slash
Puffer underscore ants.
ants. Like the no build isolation and all the freaking flags are so obnoxious. I really wish I could make the install experience for Puffer better, but Python packaging ecosystem just sucks.
You could probably make aliases for these things built into pufferlib with the
Yeah, but then
setup.py.
the thing is, all that does is it makes it more convenient for me, and it hides the issue that like it's still whenever anybody does it outside of our Docker, they have the same problem.
That's
Like
true.
you have to
Yeah.
have no build isolation when you install it, otherwise it does random bullshit and gives you undebuggable errors, and like there's nothing I can do about it. Was it Puffer Ants?
Feature/puffer ants.
Okay, so why is this so slow?
Are you able to share your screen? Because I can't see the stream
Yes.
right now. I usually.
Let me see if I think that it'll let me kill the preview on my stream first so that I can at least not have 3 open copies of my own stream. And switch over so I can read the chat in the meantime. Hello to all the YouTube folks. We are debugging contributor end live. If you build some environments, I too will go over those and help you figure out all the demons in your RL code.
Appreciated.
Tell you, RL has some demons. I've
Okay, cool.
exercised
I
most of them.
see.
Alright, so here we go. Chan ants. How many ants per environment?
It should be 32 ants per environment.
Okay, so wait, 120. No, that's not right. So 32. Yeah, I'm gonna just. 32. It's 32, right? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do 32 M's.
Mhm.
Where do you get these params from?
This whole file was given to me by Dan. I'm not sure what the
Hmm.
whole thought process was.
Are you on like a low-end machine or something?
What's that?
What machine are you using to train on?
Oh, I'm using an M4 Mac.
Yeah, so he probably gave you this because you can't actually run a proper training config. Um, would be my guess.
How do you mean? Like, is there some kind of configuration job, or do you mean just writing that ini file?
Like, your machine is not going to be here. I immediately now on my machine I have this thing training at 1.8 million steps per second.
Yeah, I mean, I can get it to that number of steps per second. I think if I were to run a train, it would probably be like a similar steps per second.
What's a good? Let me
Hold
see.
on.
What was your graph that you sent me? Send me some graphs. So return perf score. Okay,
Yeah, so
so
episode score is just the amount that they bring back to the colony. Episode return is uh, the amount of total reward.
um,
Um,
I think I have your thing training.
yeah, no, this does seem to be working. See how their score is always 0, though? That's odd to me,
Mm,
because the score seems to be non-zero in the
yeah.
user stats, but whenever I look at the actual, like, termination thing being listed out, it always says score is 0.
Okay. I mean, you can run this thing that I just did locally and take a quick look at it because I don't have this set up to render. Guess I
Mhm.
technically could do that for you real quick. It'd be a pain. I'd have to set it up on my local as well. This is why I hate not having a nice, just not being on a desktop for dev.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to visualize the eval after the fact.
Yeah. I need to do that. Maybe I'll set it up local. How much time do I have? I got half an hour. I can get this to work for you. Let's do it properly. Since you've been working on this for a while, I'll actually try to do this correctly.
Appreciate it. I'll look at the score thing that we were just talking about because I think it is weird that they're always getting printed out at 0.
So my
So maybe
guess is
the
that
AMP
Dan gave you that
logs.
as a testing config, because that's not a reasonable training config.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
And he
I
would,
just
and
kind of
he
went with the
almost
gimme.
certainly would know better as well. So
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. It could be he was just
he
trying
was
to get me
probably just
started.
trying to get you something that you could play with quickly. That's not like we don't
Right.
ever train at that scale. That's like horribly, horribly slow, and it's not going to be stable.
Hmm. Okay.
Like Puffer's defaults are not set up to do that in particular.
Mm. If I want to learn more about what's going on in the ini file, or I guess knowing what Dan knows, um, I mean, am I doing the right things just by making an environment, or should I
Yes, read
be
read
okay?
my guides as well. Have you
Yeah,
read any
sounds
of my
good.
articles?
I've read most of what you guys have on the website. Yeah.
Okay, the two
Um,
new articles will fill in all the remaining gaps then. Dan started
okay.
less than 2 years ago with zero programming knowledge and zero AI knowledge.
Nice. Yeah.
So you will definitely be able to understand that.
Cool.
There are,
Yeah.
of course, more gaps
Yeah.
to know what I know, but you would hope that there would be. I've been doing this for a while.
Mhm. I was gonna say I haven't read any of the updates since
Yeah.
3.0. Um,
There's
so I'm sure
we've had a
there's
lot of good there's a lot of good educational material now. Oh, and I've missed some
yeah.
I'm sorry, I've missed some messages apparently. Read your article, it starts with 231N. What about Core ML Algo? Where should I learn it? I see courses skip SVM. That algorithm. None. You need to start treating AI as an empirical field summit. Like there isn't good theory behind most of deep learning. You need to treat it like an empirical field. All right, it's like physics. Think of it like physics, right? Like you can't prove the equation is correct, right? You can't prove F equals ma is a good model. You can show that it fits the data within certain regimes. Okay, it's like that. So you're not going to really gain any intuition about ML by studying SVMs that you won't gain by doing more modern stuff. It's fine to do some of the historical stuff, and I've done some of the historical stuff, but especially when you're starting, it's a really poor investment of time to do that stuff. Like you should implement your own basic AutoGrad, which you will do as part of 231N. It's going to be a lot easier, and it's going to teach you a lot more. Where do you learn X in your brain? That's the only place you learn. I don't know what that means. Okay. We've got the thing copied over. And now I'm going to go like this. Git clone. Ants. The feature slash, what was it? Where did I put your link? Where the heck did I put your link? Hang on. Feature slash puffer ants.
How's your day going otherwise, Joseph?
It's all right. I was out at a dentist appointment for the morning, so I haven't really gotten the chance to do too much. I've kind of mostly just been like fixing up the drone end, helping with a few other things around Puffer, and then building out more of the company stuff for a little bit here.
Oh yeah. Do you guys have any projects that companies have come to you with
Yeah, we do.
recently?
We're working on we're working on finding more and bigger ones. Yeah, we've done a few things in a few different areas. We have a couple active.
Cool. Recently, I've been thinking about starting a new project when I get this one working, which could be something more in the bioinformatics
We are
space.
definitely interested in that.
Yeah,
I would like a hardcore molecular sim is ultimately going to be the thing that I really want to figure out how to do and how to make really fast. I think that like
right.
there's going to be a potential to just unlock so much stuff if we can do that. But
Totally.
there are easier problems I can solve first in low dimensional control and logistics that will basically I mean if I do them well I should be able to permafund the puffer as like a decent sized private lab. That's currently the
Yeah,
objective.
cool. Yeah, I have a friend who is a bioinformatician who works at Mount Sinai here in the city.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, brilliant guy. He's one of the two guys who's I like had a bunch of conversations with them where we were just nerding out together,
Mhm.
and he's one of the guys who gave me the idea to work on this ant project.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, he's a really brilliant guy. Um, I'm sure we could have some really great conversations about
Definitely.
um, how to build a model like that. And he's less on the CS side of like how to make it more efficient and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's my
That'd probably
job.
be right.
Yeah, I got your end
But
working, I'm pretty sure. Is this not
yeah,
decent?
let me see.
Wait, they don't look like they're depositing food all the time when they go through.
Right. Well, if they try to deposit to the wrong colony, then it won't work. You know what
I
I mean?
see.
Um,
Can they see the
yeah.
color of the colony?
They can only see their own colony
I see.
in the colony
So maybe then
one.
they're just like, I mean, it's at least doing something off the bat when it wasn't doing anything before.
Yeah, I mean, what did you change actually before running this?
It would be good. No, I just saw an ant, by the way. Definitely they can cross it. I'm pretty sure I saw it cross where it was the same ant went back and crossed later, and it did actually deliver.
Huh.
Let me see if I can catch it.
So it only delivers some of the time, you're saying, or?
I think so. I can't tell.
That shouldn't happen. I mean, I
Maybe not.
think
I could be wrong. Wasn't looking at the trail colors. I didn't realize they had trails that match the color.
yeah. It'll only accept food from red ants, the red colony, and the blue colony will only accept food from blue ants. Because I'm looking at the
Mm-hmm.
H code right now. Every time they pass through it, it's gonna check to make sure that they're at the right colony. I had an idea for a
Mm-hmm.
feature where you could have it where if the ant is not carrying food and it touches the opponent colony, then it can steal one food out of that colony and reduce their score, right? Um, and that could
Don't
be
do that
interesting
yet,
because
though,
then,
until you have the
oh
base
yeah, yeah,
working.
right.
Here,
Yeah, I mean,
let me see if
once we
it
get
suits your
the base work,
purpose.
and I have a few ideas for how we could make it more
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Like we could add an adversarial behavior where they can steal from each other. We could add soldier ants, so there's like a conflict or a combat mechanism that could be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, pheromones still isn't really fully implemented. Uh, their range of sight is infinite right now. Um, so there's a few things that I'd want to upgrade once we get this base working.
Why is my buffer AI? Okay, so here's your. Yeah, so I fixed your thing. Look at this. You see?
Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, so it's kind of funny because I deleted the custom config and I used our defaults.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. That is a beautiful graph. I
So
love to see it.
yeah, you're gonna need to mess with some like I don't know what your observations are at the moment. I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice on that, but
Okay.
let me explain to you at least what was wrong here,
Hmm.
okay? And like why the thing that you had didn't make any sense.
Okay.
Okay, you had this num_m set to 1,
Yep.
right? So you had 32 amps.
Yes.
I was getting
That's
like
right.
82,000 steps. I think by default we have like 2 M's in parallel, so it'll be like 64 total amps or whatever.
Mhm.
I was getting 80k steps per second on my very nice 5090. So
Mhm.
I mean, you could literally the GPU is so cold you could use it to cool your drinks at that point. Like, I,
Yeah.
you from a hardware utilization perspective, it's just not efficient to run tiny batches. And then from a puffer defaults
Mhm.
perspective, we don't tune our defaults to make any sense for that few environments. It's not enough parallel experience, and
Yeah.
the learning rates and stuff. Nothing matches basically what you would want for that. So our default
Mhm.
batch size is like 500K. Our default mini batch is 16 or 32K. And then by default, we use like 4096 or 8192 total agents. So by setting num_ems to 32, 32 times 32 is 1024. and then vecnum ems is 8, so you're going to have a total of 8192 agents split across 8 CPU cores. This immediately gets you up to almost 2 million steps per second training. I commented literally everything, which is just going to use our defaults, which are tuned on some of the arcade ends and are generally good for like most simple tasks that look kind of like arcade tasks. So that just instantly worked, and yeah, that's pretty much the long and the short of it. And like you wouldn't do stuff like this with Puffer because it's so hardware inefficient that you wouldn't even want to tune for this if you could get away with not doing this. I mean, for NumEms 1 rather, you wouldn't even want to tune for that because it's always going to be hardware inefficient because GPUs with tiny networks and small batch sizes just don't go together. All right, so now let me show you then the other thing. Get observation.
That one's commented out.
So this is like circular. This is circular quartz, or I mean, first polar quartz.
Yeah, basically, the first 8 observations are for ant ID 0. The second set of 8 observations is for ant ID 1, and so on. And that also goes across the number of environments. So after the first 32 ants,
I think
observations.
I already then talked to you about this, or you might have just done it right to begin with. I don't know. This is fine. What the rewards?
The rewards are going to be calculated in step ant. Yeah,
Here.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So if it gets the food.
Yeah, it gets the reward food. Otherwise, it gets reward delivery, and that's going to get set in the .py. So I think it's 0.1 and 1 respectively right now. Yeah. Reward
Why are
def
they not the
is
same?
not being used. I thought that just picking up food was less meaningful than actually returning it to the colony, so I made the reward delivery bigger, but I have not experimented with just moving these numbers to different values that
Set
much.
them both to 1 by default, and then what you are going
Okay.
to do is once you have this thing working sanely, look at the Neural MMO 3 inspiration. Try to do this. So you see how we have the env params and the ini?
Yeah, got
See,
it.
these get passed to Python, and then what you can do is you can do something like this. You can see how I put it into the sweep.
Mhm.
Now when you run a sweep, you'll actually sweep the reward coefficients. So instead of guessing,
Nice. Yeah,
you'll just know.
that's cool. Yeah,
Don't sweep above 1 though, because we clip to 1 anyway, so it goes 0 to 1. Or negative 1 to
got
1
it.
if it could be whatever.
Yeah, sounds good.
But, so that should be everything that you need to do in order to get this environment to work well. The observations are fine. This ant, you might want to crank the ant speed up a little bit depending. It will make learning faster at least. Just whatever makes it look visually good is, that you can get away with is probably fine.
Yeah.
I guess, let me think. Yeah, we try to generally shorten horizons as much as possible for tasks, but if it learns, it learns. Okay.
Can you send me the ini file that you used for the most recent run?
Because everything else is commented. There you go.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah. So, just so I am not missing anything, you mentioned try it with this one. Run it with a higher speed include the reward as parameters in the ini, like what you're doing with internal MMO?
That's for sweeps.
Um, okay.
So it's the I would say that the exact order of operations for you is going to be one, make sure that you can replicate this and get a baseline graph in Neptune.
Yep.
Okay. You can run it a little longer. You can do whatever you want. Play with knobs to play with. First of all, see what happens if you just increase the reward. Right.
Okay.
If I would hope that score is food delivered and it's not like the reward, it's not just correlated to
It
the
is.
reward in any way. Yeah, okay. If it's food delivered, then the graph will be directly comparable, so you can see if changing the score makes a difference or not.
Mhm.
Okay, then after that you can mess with a little bit. You can mess with the speed as a knob a little bit. Heck, you can make it a hyperparameter if you even want to, like the same as you did with the rewards. And then you can just
Yep.
chuck it all into a sweep and see what gets the best score. That'll already get you something decent.
Cool.
There you go. Those are my
So
quick recommendations for you.
great. Replicate the results. Change the reward and make it reward parameters in the ini, and do the same thing with ant speed.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Awesome. I will do that right away.
Yeah, and don't forget to put the speed in the binding file as well, so that doesn't get messed up.
Yes, yeah, got it. That makes sense.
So gotcha. All right, cool. This is
Yeah.
going to be a very cool environment once it works correctly. Any of these like swarming things, they end up looking very, very cool. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
you just
I'm
gotta
really
get the
excited
you
to
just
see
gotta get
it
the stuff down
in
correctly.
motion. Right. Yeah.
It'll get quicker. Like you'll basically after a while, once you've built a few ends, you'll stop making like mistakes like that, and you'll be able to debug stuff way more quickly.
Yeah. Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Drop
Thank
off.
you, Joseph. I really appreciate your time. Have a
Thank
good one,
you.
man.
Bye. All right, that's fun. So yeah, for the folks on YouTube and Twitch here, if you come build cool environments, I will help look through the code with you, provided that they are open source projects that are eventually going to get into Pufferlib so that we can use them for research. You know, it's kind of counterintuitive sometimes which of the tasks end up being super useful for research. Get our drone. Okay, we'll get a new policy for our drone swarm. That'll be the last thing I'll do. We'll merge my PR. I don't have time to look at it, Matt Jitter. I gotta go in 5 minutes for meeting. I will look at it though. How to analyze problems for RL. That's too broad of a question. My best general advice is going to be in that article that I wrote. My best specific advice, I'm going to have to look at your exact problem, or you can watch how I approach other users' problems, like I just did with the ants one, for instance. We didn't rebuild this, right? It's kind of funny that it still works, but yeah. If you train randomized, the original unrandomized end will still work, which is very nice. So what this is here, this is like, I've trained the same drone racing task, but now every single time it finishes the course, it's going to change to a different, it's going to change to a different size drone with different weight, different inertia, and everything randomized. So you can kind of think of it as this is training with like, how many do we think? Probably like a few 100,000 different drones, like different types of drones. And the idea is that this makes it a lot more stable when we go to evaluate on the real drone, because it's going to be able to fly like any type of drone. So if the training setting doesn't quite match the evaluation setting, it doesn't matter because the policy is super robust and it's been trained to control basically whatever drone we want. Yeah, so right here, look, this is a super big drone right here. This one's big and it's slow, but you can see it's still like able to reasonably maneuver. And it knows that even though this drone handles completely differently from the other ones, it's like still able to do something at least. Now, the thing is, not all the drones are reasonable. So like it can get through the ring there, but not all of them handle super well. Like this one's really sluggish and hard to maneuver. So it's just having a tough time. But still, it's able to do something, which is cool. And then this comes down to the exact randomizations that we run, right? Like, we should make sure that all the drones that we train on at least handle well enough that you can do the task. Where this one, it's like, maybe you can barely do the task, sort of. It's pretty awkward. No, it's doing it. Like, it's just, we're allowing it to pass back through the same ring after it touches it. So it's doing it in a way that looks kind of weird. But it is doing it. Keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, this one's just ridiculous at this point, right? It's like so slow. I am somewhat curious as to why it's always a big drone. No, we had a smaller one at the start, right? Let's just see one more. Oh yeah, there it is. So this is the small drone, right? Super zippy, way easier to control. Yeah, this one works way better. Cool. Okay, well, I've got to go for a meeting. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. I am traveling tomorrow, and then I will work on getting my stream set up in California. I may have to buy some extra stuff, but I will try to get it set up ASAP. And yeah, there will be much more dev streamed from there. If you're interested in my work, more generally, everything is available at puffer.ai. This is all open source. You can get involved with dev today just by joining the Discord. If you want to help me out for free, just start the Puffer, just start the repo. It really, really helps when people start the repo. It just does a lot for us. And if you want more content, you can follow me on X, where I post lots of RL, including a bunch of great articles for learning that you can't find anywhere else. So thank you, folks. We'll be back probably Wednesday, maybe tomorrow evening, we'll see.